Hey there, MiniWarGamers. Just wanted to give you another update on what I'm doing and show you a little bit of what's going on here in my studio. So, right now I'm working on a tutorial for airbrush everything. How to find them, which one to buy, what the prices look like, features, the mechanics behind it, general principles, troubleshooting it when something goes wrong, basic infantry painting, basic vehicle painting, some techniques that'll get you started, and try and take some of the mystery out of it so that we can get more people using airbrushes and painting cool models with them, better, faster, stronger, all that jazz. Right now I'm letting a few things soak for the cleaning tutorial, so I thought I would take a break and work on another project I'm doing for the next little bit and show you guys what I'm working on. So here I've got another camera set up. This is the one that I normally film with for most of my tutorials, and I'll be showing you guys some stuff under the close cam today while I'm working, or while I'm talking mostly to the other cam, the vlog cam over there. And I'm going to try and do some split screen or like lower third little box in the bottom corner over here somewhere maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens when I start editing it. Under the close cam here you can see that we've got some Necron Tomb World sort of bases here. This is actually a commission project. I'm going to be making a mold of these and casting 50 of them for a client, actually a good friend of mine, and we're sort of doing a bartering thing. You guys saw my Chaos Blood Angels. I'm still working on some more of them. I've got a whole bunch more jump pack infantry I want to do, and he's providing me with a whole bunch of Chaos bits so that I just have to buy the Blood Angels kits and then I can swap bits and things and theme them a little differently to my taste. So you can see here that we've got the normal GW bases, and then we've got a layer of Milliput on top. This is kind of like green stuff for those of you who've used that, but not Milliput, but it does tend to act a little more like clay when you're using it. When it gets wet, it gets sort of dissolves a little, as opposed to green stuff, which acts more like chewing gum. But they each have their own purposes. I find this stuff to be excellent because it dries quickly and hard. It doesn't stay flexible at all, so it makes for good chipping and weathering and things like that. I was trying to incorporate some 3D elements into these too. You can see I've got some little hoses and domes and things on a couple of these different pieces. I didn't want to go too crazy with that stuff because it gets a little difficult to pose certain models on there. Though I feel Necrons who stand like cowboys still on the saddle most of the time. You can fit a foot here and a foot here on these bases, and you won't have any problems getting them to stand where you want. I am also going to be doing some medium bases too, and I just started on another one of these a minute ago. I actually started shooting this same vlog a minute ago and was talking for, I don't know, 20 minutes when I realized that the camera had turned off for some reason. So, very frustrating. So the idea for this one is, this is going to be the edge of some Tomb World platform that goes off into the sandy dunes around, and I've got this lip that, it's like a curb, I guess, that drops off into this lower platform that doesn't have any texturing on it right now. But we're going to use baking soda to make some sand texture along this, and maybe make a little dune that will come up and over the edge just a little bit, so we can get some cool layering effects. So we've got those. Wow, this other camera is not cooperating with me at all. Okay, so another one that we'll be making is one of these, and this is Fallen Obelisk, and this is just sort of a mock-up that I did. This is not actually necessarily what's going to be on the base when I cast it. I'm going to actually probably make a two-part resin kit for this mold where it's the base and then this piece that fits into like a little slot in the middle putt. So to start off with, I'll probably just be sculpting this part here. So I'll go ahead and start on that part right now, and I'll grab one of just like a little piece of plastic here. So while I mix up some milk, actually I already have some right here, but I don't think it's quite enough. So I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping an eye on both of the cameras, so I'm just gonna stick to the one for right now for the rest of this video, and I'll work on maybe doing a little bit more of that in a different video. One thought that I've had recently, since the new rules came out and allies were all laid out in a usable fashion there, I've just been having this sort of fantasy about doing a Tau and Marine army, and though I've complained about the silliness of that pairing, I love Marines, I like Marine armies, but Tau was the first army that I actually started collecting, or started playing with. I had some old Dark Eldar from the 3rd edition starter box. That was what, Dark Eldar and some Marines. I think they may have been supposed to be like Black Templar, but I think they were just basically Marines and a land speeder. That's what it was. Yeah, the Tau were my first army that I started playing. Loved that army. Lots of cool bits, but frankly, it was not competitive at the time, and it's not now. It's very difficult to play well, or to match up against other armies, in my opinion, for the most part. Mostly just because it has a giant gaping hole where the assault anything should be. And you've got the Kroot, but they're sort of a poor substitute for real assault units. So the Allies rules can really fill in that gap for you. You can take a Tau army and then take a Marine contingent. That would really shore up your ability to handle assaults. But what a lot of people are complaining about, and myself included, and I know that they've written some fluff, and I haven't read all of it yet, so I don't know all the specifics, but I've been assured that there has been some sort of fluff that takes into account the fact that they're Xeno and the Marines not so fond of the Xeno. So what I would propose is that it would be very cool to see a Tau army, and then you take a Marine contingent, but you convert all of the Marines models out of existing Tau kits. That basically what you would do for the Marines, in my opinion at least, would be to do some sort of variant on the stealth suits. Like you take the nice new like XV-25 plastic suits. Now I know this is going to get pricey because you need 10 of them in a tactical squad, unless you want to take combat squads. But, well, I mean, you can take 5. But anyway, being able to take Tau models and make them, I mean, just the fact that they would fit the aesthetic would be really quite pleasing to me. But that also takes care of some of the some of the folks who are still pretty diehard about, you know, why would the Tau and the Marines be getting along so well? And you know, if GW has changed the fluff, I can roll with that punch. That's fine. But just the opportunity to take a model and say, okay, well, we're gonna make our own version of that model because it doesn't fit the aesthetic of what we're doing. I always loved doing that. lots of people would complain about the models that GW has not produced yet, but have codex entries for. That's the stuff I used to look for because I loved it. It was so awesome to be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to make my own because they haven't produced their own kit for it yet, and nobody complains about it or has any qualms. You just say, well, this is that entry from the codex, and I've converted it. And most of the time, if you stick to the GW parts, and nobody complains, and you can play in the GW stores and all that good stuff. But yeah, take the ability to take other codex's troops and maybe even convert them out of your own existing army's troops and just make them look a little different. I think that's pretty cool, and lots and lots of possibilities for that type of stuff. So, I guess for like if you were going to take Terminators, you could do like Crisis Suit parts and find a way to make them a little shorter and stumpier and not so jetpacky. I don't know exactly how I would do that, but I'm sure I could figure it out. I'm trying to think of other parts that you could salvage out that would make converting up some Terminator and Marine equivalent stuff. I'm trying to think if any of the vehicles would lend themselves particularly well to that type of thing. Nothing's really coming to mind. I guess there are some little parts here and there on like the Sky Rays and the Hammerheads and all the other bodies. I mean, they're all the same tank. They just have different turrets or no turret on the top. But yeah, you could do some really fun and interesting stuff here. I'm sort of losing train of thought here. I'm trying to concentrate on this and talk to you guys at the same time. I know you can't see it particularly well here, but I'm sculpting it's a fallen obelisk that I'm doing for another one of these bases. I'm doing it as a two-part kit. I'm going to do this and then sculpt a base that has a socket in it for this particular little thing. I'm going to make sure that I've got them roughly the same size because we were really trying to make sure that it was going to be sized appropriately so that the wraiths could fit on and around them without too much trouble. I don't want to have to bend them all that much to try and get them around these. So yeah, another cool conversion opportunity that Sixth has afforded us is the fortifications. For Imperial armies, that's pretty well set. Even the Chaos armies, you just take the Imperial stuff and you make Chaos versions of it, i.e., fill it full of skulls and spiky bits. So that's those are all taken care of. That's like half the armies, but you're not going to have a bunch of Hormagaunts or Gene Stealers holing up in a bastion. You're going to have some sort of creepy, oozing, fleshy structure that they could all hide back into. So that'll make it make some interesting pieces of terrain. I'll see if I can do some of that for tutorials later on, but for right now, working on the airbrushing tutorial, and next up after that is going to be a piece of Nurgle terrain, and that should be pretty cool. I was told the grosser the better, so I will see how gross I can get it to accomplish that requirement. So anyway, before I ramble on forever and ever and ever, I'll just go ahead and end this here. But I hope you guys are enjoying 6th edition as much as I am, even the parts that you don't like so much and agree with. I'm just excited to have a new rule set out so that we can all have fun learning and playing and building and painting and converting stuff here in the wide world of the internet and gaming community. So catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys will tune in, and I have not bored you all to death with my terrible rambling. And until then, happy wargaming.